Hello, I'm Denny Michael with AVST. Welcome to this edition of Take 5. Hi everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the hybrid cloud and what it means for UC deployments. Now simply put, the hybrid cloud is a mix of on-premise and public cloud UC components. Many of our large customers are taking their multiple locations and centralizing them. And depending on the mission-critical nature and compliance and confidentiality concerns, some elements of their UC stack will remain on-premise while some will be delivered in the public cloud. In fact, Gartner states that 75% of large enterprises will have some sort of hybrid cloud initiative by 2015. Now at AVST, we do this through interoperability, and we believe that the hybrid cloud is the future for the large enterprise. Therefore, it's important to invest in UC components that promote open standards and hybrid interoperability. Now today I'm happy to have on board Dave Michels, an industry analyst, to have his take on the hybrid cloud. Here we go. Hi Dave, and thanks for coming on to AVST's Take 5. Just to let you know, I did a preamble of where AVST is in this space, and as you know, we have customers and products in the hybrid cloud marketplace. And so I did a preamble on that, so just to let you know. So Dave, in your definition, what is the hybrid cloud?
The definition of a hybrid cloud is really just combining some elements of the cloud with some elements of on-premise equipment to create a ideally more powerful solution, kind of the best of both worlds. There's lots of advantages to doing this. Some of the on-prem equipment has some benefits, or perhaps that's an asset an organization already owns and fully deployed, and they want to leverage that. And then the cloud has a number of compelling benefits, which is why it's growing so rapidly. And putting the two together can offer an organization quite a bit of capability.
Great, thank you. And from a true business value point of view, what do you see are the big movers in the hybrid cloud in regards to a deployment?
Well, business value, is relative to the business, and so it varies. Some organizations are very concerned about security, maybe the required regulatory reasons for HIPAA or PCA. So maybe you need to keep certain kinds of information on site, encrypted, like the message store. There's lots of reasons why organizations want to live behind the firewall in some aspects, but yet leverage the benefits of the cloud, maybe for mobile workers and the scalability and financial benefits of the cloud in certain aspects of the deployment.
And do you see this being a big impact to UC? The fact that you can have on-prem, private, or hybrid now, just the mix of all those things is a big impact for UC in general?
Well, UC is one of these elusive goals, and the initial thought of or momentum behind UC was to have a single unified, a single client that did all these forms of multimodal communication, but that's never really ever been delivered. I mean, the problem is we keep adding different forms of communication quicker than we can invent them, or deploy them, I should say. Think of all the things you use today. You've got voicemail, email, SMS, Facebook, Twitter, of course, telephone. Some people are still using fax. So there's a lot of different things going on, and so if we can't create a single client that does it all, which I think is the current mode of thinking, we need to create a single experience that can leverage or create access to all these different modes of communications. And so the hybrid cloud fits right into that. And the problem that a lot of organizations are doing is that they're creating, adding these services, but they're overlapping too much. And so maybe you've got two voicemail systems, one on your cell phone, one on your email. And so you really want to get these systems to work together in harmony rather than tug at each other, creating more work for your employees.
Got it. And do you see any particular trend in regards to the types of UC deployments out there? What are people deploying first that you see? Is there a trend there at all in regards to the hybrid cloud?
Absolutely, positively, there's no trend whatsoever. The thing with UC is that every organization is different, everybody's starting point is different, and everybody has different objectives and needs. And so we're seeing a bunch of different themes going on, a bunch of different ways that organizations are leveraging hybrid clouds. So for example, some are using the cloud for call control. More and more call control is being seen as a commodity, and so we can go into the cloud, and that solves scalability, it lowers the cost, and that works really nicely. But then maybe we want to keep some things on site, maybe existing equipment, existing applications. And so that brings me to specialized applications. And so a lot of organizations are looking to the hybrid cloud for very specialized apps, either in the cloud or on-prem. So contact center is a real popular one in the cloud. Conferencing is a really popular one in the cloud, mostly around security. So there's some conferencing apps that they want to keep all the content on premises and keep it encrypted. You see it a lot with message stores. And so those are the types of things that we're seeing.
Great. And do you see any best practices emerging now that you see products coming out to the market?
Well, I would say that we're seeing a shift in the way our organizations find the best practice. The stuff is so complicated that the best practice was a single vendor solution because everything was made to work together. But now the technologies are really maturing to the point where there's better APIs and better interfaces and integration capabilities. So now there's really much more around picking the components and the location of those components on-prem or in the cloud that work best for an organization, to mix and match what you're trying to mix and match the items that you want to create the solution that's right for your organization.
Any conclusions or thoughts that you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I very much believe that the hybrid cloud is the future, and I think that this is what always happens. I mean, whenever you have a choice between extremes, there's always a middle choice of some sort of compromise that seems to always win, and so or a combination of the two extremes. So, hard phones and soft phones. People have been saying for years the hard phone is dead. Obviously, the soft phone is a very powerful alternative, but the hard phone is not going to go away, in my opinion. And so I don't believe that when people say that everything's going to be cloud, I don't believe that, and I don't believe that everything's going to stay on premise. I think there's going to be a natural migration or force toward various hybrid solutions.
Great, thanks, Dave. And for those of you who want more information from Dave Michels, visit talkingpoints.com. And for more information on the hybrid cloud, visit avst.com. Thank you.